know I'm about it. God-given wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. Things that you go through, we can talk about it. You staying the same, I doubt it. Hey, welcome to my channel, Kayla Danielle. Welcome to my channel, Kayla Danielle. Welcome to my channel, yeah. Kayla Danielle. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What's up, fam? I feel like I start my videos off the same way every single time. Hi, guys. How should we do this? I don't even know. Anyways, so today we're going to be talking about healing just a little bit because this is like a super large topic, and I have been working on pursuing my own healing, pursuing God in that area because, like I said, as you guys know, if you've been watching my channel, I have lots of things that I've been through and I need to be healed from it. And I'm sure that if you look at your life, you probably need to be more disciplined in your own personal area of healing. So I want you to tune in, continue to watch the video all the way to the end. You don't want to miss any of these points that I'm going to make because they're definitely going to benefit you. Also, if you like anything that I say today, if you like the way I say a certain word, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. Duh. And then we want you also to hit the comment button so you can leave and say something. I don't want to feel like I'm talking to myself. And then, of course, subscribe. Hit that button because it's going to help you to stay tuned into these videos that are not for me, they're for you, to help you out. Okay, so please start by reading Luke chapter 17 verses 11 through 19. This is a parable of the lepers. So I want to point out some things about this. So Jesus is walking from one place to another, and he's about to enter a village, and before he gets into the village he sees 10 lepers. Now let me tell you about leprosy in the Bible. You should go read first Leviticus 13 verses 45 through 46, which explains that lepers are seen as unclean. They have a skin condition that is contagious, that if you get close to them, if you touch their clothes, if you touch them, that you'll get it as well. So these people were shunned to the outside of the camp, outside of the city. They were not allowed to dwell with others. When people got close to them, they had to yell, unclean, unclean. They were rejected, stuck in an outside position. Have you ever felt stuck? And I had been explaining that because I hadn't overcome this certain area in my life, because I hadn't received healing yet in this area, I was feeling stuck. And so maybe you're feeling stuck. Maybe you're feeling that way in a certain portion of your life. Maybe it's because you need to be healed, okay? So these people are stuck. Jesus is about to enter into this village. And so, verse 13, and they lifted up their voices and said, Jesus, Master, have mercy on us. So how did these people know about Jesus? Like, Jesus had to seriously been such a man of God. Well, we know that he was. But he had to be so dynamic that even people who were outside of the camp knew about him. He was true. And so his fame spread abroad, even to people outside of the camp, to these lepers. So they knew him, they saw him, and they called out to him. This was an opportunity for them to grab hold of their healing. And we all have opportunities of healing. It just depends on us and our response to it. When that opportunity comes along, we need to grab hold of it, go after it. It has now become your moment. So they acknowledged the man of God and they called him Master. So when they acknowledge him as Master, they're saying, I'm going to do whatever it is that you ask me to do. So that's exactly what he does in the next scripture. He says, go show yourself to the priest. Now, in Moses' law, in the Old Testament, first 5 books of the Bible, it describes what a leper must do when they are cleansed. They must go show themselves to the priest so that the priest can confirm that they no longer have leprosy and that they are cleansed, okay? So he's telling them, even though you have not been cleansed yet, even though there is not a sign on your body that shows that the leprosy is gone, I want you to walk this out. I need you to follow this instruction. So they mixed with faith what he told them to do. It says, and it came to pass, come on now, that as they went, they were cleansed. So we must walk out the process of what it means to be healed. Maybe there's some steps that you haven't taken quite yet. Maybe there's some instruction that you haven't heeded yet that's going to cause you to be healed. But I want you now to begin to open your mind up into what God is telling you to do in order to be cleansed. Mix it with faith and walk out your healing so that you can become unstuck from the situation that's holding you back, so that you can become an overcomer, the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. This is what God has for us if we heed the instruction of our men and women of God. So now in this next verse, there's one leper out of the 10 who is set apart from all the others. And it has to do in what actions that he did, that he took part in. It says in verse 15 that he glorified God, shouted with a loud voice because he realized that he was cleansed. He realized that the thing that held him back, the thing that caused him to be outside of the camp, the thing that set him apart from everybody, caused him to be rejected, was now fixed. He no longer had signs of that thing in his body. He was now healed and he glorified God. Now, if you write papers, if you know anything about citations or bibliographies or anything like that, you must cite your source. Anything that you get something from someone, you give them credit for that. It's just like saying thank you. It's like, Lord, this is from you. I'm thanking you. I'm glorifying you. I'm giving you all the credit for everything that's happened in my life. And so because he did this one thing that nobody else did out of all 10 lepers, he was made whole. There's a defining factor between you and someone else. Yes, you may have similar issues, but if you give God glory in your situation, I can promise you, guarantee you that God is going to bless you even above that person because you're giving God glory. How hard is that? That's not hard. That's simple to do. So as he falls down to God, to Jesus, at his feet, he's submitting to him. He's saying, Lord, I'm worshiping you, I'm praising you, and I'm submitted to you. Thank you. So because of his worship and because of his submission and his praise unto God, the things that Jesus did for him through God, he was able to be made whole. What things have you not submitted to God just yet that's causing you not to overcome? What things have you not worshiped about just yet that's causing you not to overcome? Think about those things right now. Because that's what I'm doing in my life. And it's working. I'm telling you, it's working. And so Jesus is astonished by what he does. So he says, arise, go thy way. Thy faith has made thee whole. Now there's a difference between being healed and being whole. Healed is, okay, I had a cut on my hand. Now it's healed. It's closed up. It no longer hurts anymore. Whole is everything is put back in the place that it should be. All of my parts are working together simultaneously like a gear, like a well-oiled machine. And so instead of just being healed from leprosy, he's now whole from leprosy. He's now no longer fighting with the rejection and the emotions that went with being a leper. So he no longer has to live a life of poverty, the rejection that he faced. He no longer has to deal with that because he is now whole. Anything that was wrong with him, besides just the leprosy, God has dealt with, and Jesus has spoke to his situation and said, because you submitted to me, because you glorified God for your situation, because you thanked me, a thank you goes a long way. You are now whole from this thing. So heed your men and your women of God. They have the instruction that's there to help you. Submit to them, thank them, and mix with faith the instruction that they give you, because this is how you become healed. I don't want to be stuck in a down position. I don't want you to be stuck in a down position. So begin to listen, open your ears, and you want to make sure that you're doing all these things right so that God can bless you, elevate you, and get you to where you need to be so that you can help and impact others. God bless you guys this week. Please leave a comment if you liked what I said. Anything, like I said in the beginning, please hit the thumbs up button. Leave some comments below and subscribe. Subscribe. I love y'all. I will see y'all next week.